Ganado Bigfoot-like creature seen from Steamboat to Greasewood. We will give you the backstory for this image, enlarge it, and go over a few details in the photo. Terry states this was taken on Navajo Res near Ganado, Arizona. Lottie comments on RMSO Media regarding the image. Okay, folks, I am writing this because my aunt took this picture about 2 years ago. No lie. This is in a canyon area between the communities of Cornfields and Greasewood, Arizona on the Navajo Nation. She was out with livestock south of our homestead and heard strange noises where she was at. She walked to the edge of this small canyon and saw this thing, and it looked up at her. She is older, so her only thought was to get a quick pic and get the heck out of the area. She was able to chase the sheep back and did not go back for a long time. She did tell the family about it, and we were loading up with rifles, but were told, no, leave it alone, as no one was sure what it was. I heard it was seen again a few days later, but I'll tell you, in this area of the res, weird things are seen and heard quite a bit. I didn't think this pic would get its way on social media, but I guess I'm not surprised either. We've been told stories from Steamboat, Greasewood, and Navajo Station, but always don't bother them. We try not to walk alone, and we try to always carry protection if we do. Our dogs are getting old. You don't have to believe what I write, and to me it doesn't matter. All I know is what I've told you is what happened that day, and I truly believe that they are out there, and I will just leave them alone. RMSO responds, thank you for the background, Lottie. Enlarging the image, it appears this creature was either looking up from cover or ducking down to the cover of the logs in the embankment. It has a forward lean, sometimes attributed to Bigfoot. However, the lean may be because it's ducking to cover. You can make out the right leg and thigh below the large branch in the log, and then can also make out the creature's face, right eye socket, and can see pretty much a flat nose, small mouth above its chin. Also, these look like they may be ears on either side of its head. Strange creature, and it appears to be large and thick compared to the logs and trees around it. We get a lot of reports of Sasquatch-type creatures from this part of Arizona, including images of the creature, like the one that was taken in Chusca Bigfoot near Tsaile Lake, and this Sasquatch carrying a deer on Navajo tribal lands. I would like to go over the details of a Bigfoot captured on camera in the tribal lands of the Navajo. These tribal lands are situated on the four corners of Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado, with 80% of these Navajo lands in northeast Arizona, where this amazing mysterious photo of what appears to be a Sasquatch carrying a deer. Most of Arizona's Bigfoot sightings come out of this area inside these tribal lands along the Mogollon Rim, east of Flagstaff, past Winslow into west New Mexico. Most of these reports out of this part of Arizona are of a creature that's around 7 feet tall, around 400 pounds, and light brown in color. Exactly what you would expect in this photo after reading the dozens of Bigfoot sighting reports in the area. Arizona's Bigfoot, most commonly known, is the Mogollon Monster. I first come across this photo on a public page, and according to Yazzie, the person that posted it, the following photo was taken May 22nd, 2007 from security cameras on Navajo National Reservation. It is purported to be 9 feet tall Bigfoot carrying a deer carcass. A couple of months after posting this on my blog, a guy contacts us on July 31st, 2022, and he kind of initiates the initial report and states the Bigfoot is smaller than reported. He says, my brother took this photo 5 miles away from our ranch. Our neighbor also saw 2 smaller ones playing in a wash. I believe they are more baby ones than adults. That photo was taken April 29th of this year, 300 yards from my mom's house. It's dragging a piece of lumber from a shed that blew down from the high winds. The rangers and some of the Navajo Nation officials went snooping around a whole day after my sister posted the photo on Facebook. He was driving on a dirt road when he saw it, and then took the photo out of panic. He thought it was a badger at first. If they, Bigfoot, have learned or started to build things, this might be the reason for the need of the wood. I saw it as a kid exploring. Our ranch dogs bark, but now keep their distance every time maybe the adult ones do scream. Rocks have been thrown at the dogs. Brother went to show a good family friend the photo, and her elder said the natives used to hunt them. Also, that they may be part of a shape-shifting community. Reason no one has ever really seen them. They are also mentioned that if a shape-shifting animal, it will use the underground to move. We have been getting random people stopping by, and it weirds my mom out, so it's all hush at the moment. My personal RMSO opinion is the subject does in fact look like it could be a Bigfoot, and zooming in on it, it appears to be carrying a deer. You can see its head and face, along with one leg hanging down near the deer head. Both parties do in fact believe it is a Bigfoot on Navajo tribal lands. However, the size of the creature, how the photo was taken, and what it is carrying is disputed. Great photo either way. There are two species of deer that live in this area, mule deer and white-tailed deer. Mule deer can grow over 5 feet long and weigh over 300 pounds. The other species, the white-tail, it can grow over 7 feet long and weigh over 150 pounds. Not sure how big this deer is, but it seems to easily be carrying it tucked under its left armpit. And if it's just a small to medium deer, say 3 to 4 feet long in comparison to the Bigfoot, this Bigfoot would have to be huge and powerful. I don't know of any person that could carry a small deer under their armpit in such a way. This is where the eye of the deer is, if you take a close look. Here's the tip of the nose that we're pointing out right here. And then I'm pointing at the hoof at the front of the leg that's hanging down past the face of the deer. So all three parties, me, the two people that put this photo out, we're not disputing that this is a Bigfoot shaped creature. I can see muscles in the V of the back of this thing. It would have to be big and powerful to even carry a small to medium deer so conveniently under its armpit. What an amazing photo. Sasquatch sighting captured on camera near Tsaile Lake on the Navajo Nation. Nick reports his sighting on Bigfoot Media Group. Saw this creature on August 12, 2024 around 6:30 a.m. on the Navajo Nation Reservation just as the sun was about to rise above the mountains east of Tsaile Lake. I was there fishing and was at a place called The Point on the northeast side of the lake. As I was casting out lures and gazing around the lake and noticed movement on the left side of my peripheral vision, I stood up and noticed something reddish with lots of hair. I dropped my rod and got down on my knees to get pictures and tried to stay as steady as possible because the thing was around 250 yards away. I had to zoom in and took a few pictures. As I was watching, it walked towards the shore of the lake. I thought it was going to go to the lake, but it stopped in the bushes of the sage that are at least 5 feet tall. I was the only one at the lake at the time. I think it might have saw me because where I was clearly visible. Then it turned around and started to head back into the forest. It made no sound, but the way it walked was not like a person. It had big strides, and it seemed like it just took a few steps back into the trees. I say it was about 6 to 7 feet tall. Those fence posts are usually about the same height as to keep the horses and cattle in the field for the grazing. But it was a surreal moment for me, and we do have sightings here in the Chusca Mountains area here on the reservation. RMSO observation. That reddish-brown color is about the same color as the last Bigfoot captured on camera in northeast Arizona on the Navajo Nation. If the sage hitting the creature about chest height are around 5 feet tall, then the creature would be 1.5 to 2 feet taller, putting this creature over 6 feet easily. The color of this creature is the same color often described in this part of Arizona, all the way down to the lush forests around the Mogollon Rim, where the people report a creature that can get around 7 feet tall, 400 pounds, reddish brown, and is often referred to as the Mogollon Monster. Not long ago, there were some really nice Bigfoot tracks found northeast of Tsaile Lake, just across the New Mexico border near Shiprock along the San Juan River, and Dave Oz captured a really nice photo of the Bigfoot near the same area too. Bigfoot activity, sightings, and evidence in New Mexico and the Four Corners region. Make sure you subscribe and smash that bell button so that you can get the notifications of the 2 or more videos we post each week. Dave Oz, who is a New Mexico and Four Corners Bigfoot investigator, writes RMSO. There is a lot of activity in the Mogollon Rim of Arizona. Surprised this has not been reported by camp hosts more often. There are the Four Corner locations too. I know a gal who used to camp close to the site where Travis Walton and his logging crew were abducted by alleged aliens in the 1970s. Told me a few years back she will not camp there anymore due to observed gray aliens and Bigfoot activity. It's apparently still ongoing after the abduction occurred. I remember 3 years ago listening to my police scanner about a gorilla observed near my home off US 64 near Sunray Casino, New Mexico. Bright sunny morning at 7 a.m. and a female sheriff deputy reported to stopping a car and saying to the dispatch, "I also saw that gorilla while turning around on the highway," with a voice that she really didn't want to see or deal with it. The area has a fair share of sightings, especially in and around nearby San Juan River from Colorado all the way into Utah. Dave Oz sends us a photo from this area. RMSO responds, "Interesting, Dave, thank you. Enjoyed hearing about this going on in and around that area." Dave Oz elaborates on Bigfoot evidence documented along the San Juan River in New Mexico. San Juan River between Kirtland and Shiprock, New Mexico, August 2008. We don't give exacting locations for further study, but I can say this river has activity everywhere and anywhere between its source around Wolf Creek Pass, Colorado, all the way into Utah area. Between Farmington and downstream from Shiprock appears to be the hottest activity. Basically pick a spot and look around. People will also talk about strange vocalizations, footprints, rocks thrown, tree branch structures, and that's a good place to start as well. RMSO responds, "Look how those toes appear to function almost like fingers. A lot of great information can be derived from this single photo. Thanks, Dave. Great job documenting this." Dave continued, "Thanks a lot. Much appreciated. The mud may have held an accurate print. The good thing is there are more out there. This one was the best, others more distorted and misshapen. I was with J.C. Johnson back then looking at a spot where a car had been driven off the road a few months earlier and heavy equipment were pulling it out. We noticed footprints all over the riverbank, also observed where a tribal policeman tried to erase the footprints but didn't get them all. Here's some rock wall art near the area. The ancient newspaper tells it all." Here's a cropped-in photo of an upright object. It is not a rock, shadow, or vegetation, but something solid and blocking light while standing within the pinyon pines. Yeah, I would like to thank Dave for all the photos and all the reports that he has sent us from that area. It's an amazing area. As a matter of fact, he talks about the Wolf Creek Pass in Colorado. We have received several Bigfoot sighting reports from that Wolf Creek Pass in Colorado. As a matter of fact, it's been less than a year since we got the last one. So these Bigfoot do like to follow the rivers and the creeks. There are several reports in Teos County, New Mexico that are on the BFRO website. There's one in July 2009, an 8-foot-plus figure that was photographed peering into a couple's RV near the Red River. There's also, more recent, 2011, there was a couple driving home and they have a nighttime sighting near Tres Piedras. Near the Four Corners region on Navajo tribal lands, this photograph was taken. According to the witness that took the photograph, the Bigfoot isn't very tall, but it appears to be carrying something. The witness believes that it was carrying lumber from a tore-down shed nearby. However, a lot of experts that took a look at this photo very closely believe It is carrying a deer, and the head of the deer is behind the creature with ears and antlers and everything. This Four Corners region is a paranormal hotspot, and it's also a Bigfoot sighting hotspot. We have been on several Bigfoot expeditions into the area, especially along the Mogollon Rim and the border of New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, investigating sightings. I hope you guys enjoyed. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching. Make sure you subscribe and click that bell button so you get all the notifications of the 2 to 3 or more videos that we post each week.